Facebook. Make sure we're streaming there. Very good. Getting ready to get started here. We're going to give people a little bit of time to filter in. Very good. You guys grab your snacks and your drinks, make yourselves comfy. How many kiddos do we have at this watch party? They're stopping and counting. That's the problem. 7. Okay, 7. So as long as they're all accounted for, we're good. Very good. Okay, I know people are going to be kind of coming in here last minute. Looks like we've got all of our technology cooperating today. I'm going to make sure that we're streaming over in Facebook real quick. I want to make sure everybody can get in. Yes, it's working. All right. Very good. Well, here we are on day 4, and we still have a couple days ahead of us. So don't worry, we are not running out of steam. Today is going to be pretty fun, pretty exciting. We're going to put into practice some of the things that we've talked about this week. And then, of course, we have our exciting giveaway. And you remember, you have to be present to win. For those who are just now tuning in, we also have our watch party going on. That's been super fun this week to watch you guys have your little watch party. In fact, in all of my future workshops, I'm going to have to encourage people to just have a watch party. Bring all the kids together, they can play, and moms can enjoy the workshop together. That's awesome. Okay, well, we are going to cover just a couple tidbits for housekeeping things this morning. Yesterday, I posted a question post. I want you to make sure that you look and kind of check out what the question and answer session tomorrow is going to be. A parent strategy session. So it's kind of one of those working sessions where you can come, we can kind of talk about some of the things that I mentioned today, and you can ask questions about maybe how to tailor it for your child's needs or your family's needs. And so tomorrow is a little bit like a working session where you can ask questions, we can cover specific topics, things like that. So if you have a question that you would like us to talk about tomorrow, feel free to post it on the question post. Also, on Monday, we are having Coffee with a Coach, which is similar, except you can ask any questions. It's not going to be so much of a working session, but more of just a discussion, kind of talking through some things. Maybe you have questions about the Calm Connection program. Maybe you have some questions about some of the tools or strategies that we used this week or that we talked about or introduced. So don't forget, today is not the end. We still have tomorrow, and then I'm leaving all of the training videos up this weekend so that you can catch up on any that you missed, rewatch any portions that you want. Those won't come down until next week. So feel free to watch anything you've missed, catch up, do a little bit of the workshop. And Monday, we are going to have that Coffee with a Coach. We are also going to be doing some giveaways. So it is not too late to do those action posts and get entries for the drawings. So both, let's see, Friday you have to work on little projects for the action posts, and through the weekend, Monday morning is when we will look at and see who else can enter the drawing and do a couple more book drawings in the Coffee with the Coach. I also want to let you know I posted yesterday a post that talks about a call. If you have questions, maybe you're not sure if this program is something that might work for you, if you just kind of need a little bit of direction on what you might pursue with your child or how you might find support, I want you to feel like you can schedule a call. You have a free 15-20-minute call where we can just kind of talk through those things and kind of figure out what support might be most helpful for your situation. So if you would like a phone call, find that post and just put call. If you would rather talk over Zoom, I can do that too. Just find that post and put Zoom, and I will make sure that I get in touch with you so that we can connect. I want everybody this week to feel like you can make those connections, you can ask the questions you have, and that we can, help get you connected to the resources that might best support you. All right, without further ado, I think we are going to head on into today's topics. I am going to start screen sharing for our slideshow here. Hopefully everybody can see that. Very good. Okay. Today, day 4, man, we breezed through days 1, 2, and 3, and I know we covered a lot of content. So if you have questions, please remember, bring it tomorrow, bring it Monday. Love to go through it. Just so you know, here's kind of the calendar, how it's all set out, the bonus session that we just talked about, the weekend to catch up, spend time with your family, and then the bonus copy with the coach come Monday. And those other 2 things will be at 10 o'clock as well. And of course, you can enter the giveaway that we are going to be doing Monday in the coffee with the coach. Today, we are having our giveaway. It will be at the end of our topics. So make sure that you stay on live till the end. If we have anybody new that is here today, I just wanted to cover just a little bit about myself so you know who I am, why I'm here, kind of the passion behind what it is that I do. I am a speaker and author, a personality trainer. My background is as a licensed professional counselor. But what I really figured out is that I really like to walk even closer with families, not just in that appointment time, but that you can help support them during the week, kind of figuring out the routines, the issues, the problems that erupt when they're doing just the simple things that every day entails in a family. And so that's why I kind of took a different direction and went into parent coaching so that I could walk a little more closely with families and connect them with resources in different ways than you can when you're a counselor. So I have a passion to help families. I have passion about faith and mental health, and all of that just comes together nicely as I do what I'm doing here. Yes, I'm a little bit of a word nerd. I love writing. There's a host of other things I love that I know some of you can connect with. Warm sunshine, warm blankets, sweet coffee, fun patterned clothing, as you can tell because I'm not only wearing the shirt today, but in my picture, and that I am a wife and mom to 7 blessings. And of course, that keeps me super busy. I would say not only are my hands full, but my heart is very full as well. So that's pretty special. I love to be able to share about our personal experiences, not because I feel like any expert at all. In fact, I would probably say parenting is one of the most humbling things a parent or person can engage in. There are so many things in parenting that you just simply can't control, and you just give it your best and do a whole lot of praying. So I don't share with you as an expert, but rather someone who has been through similar things. I have learned some things the hard way, and I would love to be able to maybe help spare other families some of the heartache or challenge that we felt by maybe helping you find that shortcut, maybe to help you replicate some of the tools, strategies, and approaches that we used that can be helpful to you and your child, and honestly, your entire family, because we know that high emotions don't just affect your child, it affects everybody. And so that's one of the reasons that I really feel like connecting with moms, with dads can make such a difference, because we do set the tone in our home. And I want you to feel like you have the support that you need, the practical tools and ongoing support. Day 1 and day 2, we kind of assessed the situation. We explored some different things about the issues, about thoughts, about feelings, about triggers, about co-regulating. Then yesterday, we kind of headed into the direction of talking about meltdowns specifically and navigating those, some things that we can do to help reduce those, and in some cases, in many cases, eliminate them, but definitely how we can work through those processes when we see that our child is being triggered and starting to feel as though their emotions are going to become totally dysregulated. Okay. I want to make sure if somebody can answer in chat that everything's working well. I just want to make sure you can hear me and see me without anybody being lost today. I know it's an important day and people get frustrated if they can't hear or see. So if someone can just answer in chat that we're good to go. Let me see.
You're good to go.
Oh, good. Oh, very good. Thank you so much. with tech issues this week, it makes me a little bit leery of my tech. So thank you very much. Okay, so today we are going to head into understanding how we put some of these tools and strategies together so that we can head into making family plans. A couple of those specifically, family huddles or the Calm Care Plan, which we will talk about in more detail during today's training. Okay, this week's training does not give you instant success. I wish it did. I might be a rich woman, but I want to remind you that it takes dedication, it takes practice, and a lot of prayer, just really figuring out, God, help us understand our child's needs. Help us figure out what it is that they need. Help us discern how we pursue the help we need, and then how we can best tailor what we do for their personality, their emotional needs, if there's mental health issues or diagnoses that you're working with, sensory issues. I mean, there's so many pieces that we put together, and that we really tailor what we do as a parent to help our child and really appreciate and understand their unique wiring. And truly being a parent is a special mission. We are called to be a parent for the child that God handpicked for us. And we are the parent that God handpicked for that child. And He will equip us to meet those needs. And thankfully, He fills in all the rest. He equips us for that. So if you are a parent who has felt discouraged, depleted, defeated, desperate, and you would rather feel calm, confident, competent, and connected, I want you to know that you are in the right place. So I invite you today to just kind of disconnect from some of the other stresses that you may be feeling. Take just a little breather, grab a drink, relax. Let's talk a little bit about the next steps. My voice is wearing out just a little bit, so don't mind if I take just some little drinks now and then to get us through. The first thing that I think is so important that we talk about is just basing ourselves in the truth. So often I find, even with myself, that I can start saying things to myself that are truly just lies. And when you start giving yourself those thoughts, we've already talked this week about how our thoughts lead to our feelings, lead to our responses. And so when we tell ourselves things that are lies, our responses come from that. If you say to yourself, man, I'm just not cut out for this. This is just too much. It'll never be better, or nothing can help, then you're going to be approaching situations with that negativity, with hopelessness. And instead, I want to remind you how important it is that we speak truth to ourselves, not because we have all the powers ourselves or because we have all the answers ourselves, but because we are growing and we are learning. We are figuring it out, and we are surviving. We can thrive. And so I really want to remind you the importance of saying to yourself those positive things. I can do hard things. God will help me. We will grow and we will learn as parents. I need the right tools. Maybe it's just reminding yourself, find your tools or find your support. Those things are so important. It's kind of that growth mindset that they work so hard on instilling in our children. And it's important for us as parents too. We've talked a little bit this week about how so many of us can share those family goals. And maybe we came into parenting and really wish and desire for our family to have that feeling of content, like things are good, things are going well. And we as parents want to be aware of what's going on and on top of things, and maybe even anticipating where we might need to fill in better, where we might need to train or help or support. Acceptance for what it is that we may see in our children and some of their struggles. We may just really want to approach parenting with a calm. We may want our homes to be calm, our families to be calm, even our children, that we can just train and instill in them that sense of it's going to be okay and we can work through anything. And of course, with that comes that confidence. We want not only our kids to be confident, but we want our family to be confident in who we are, and that we as parents can portray that confidence to our children so that they can feel the security of, my parent can handle what's going on. They've got this, they've got me. And none of this is too big. We can work through it. Feeling effective as parents, feeling connected as a family, Feeling connected in your parenting attempts, being on the same page as parents. That's really, really tough. In fact, that's one of the biggest challenges I hear in working with families is we just can't get on the same page. He's going this direction, I'm going this direction. We rarely meet up with what we're attempting with the kids. And it can be really hard on marriages. It can be really hard on families. And when you have children who are highly sensitive and highly emotional, they can really play off of that dynamic. So getting on the same page, being connected in your approach, being connected as a family relationally, and feeling that connection with your child one-to-one, where your child knows that you understand them, you get them, you know their needs, and when things feel too big for them, you're big enough to help. And also feeling just refreshed, feeling like you don't feel wiped out at the end of every day, feeling like you have some life in you, that you have something to give to your kids, to your family, to your marriage, to friendships. And that's hard to find. I think that's one of the biggest reasons we need support in our lives, because parenting does take a lot out of us. And if we want to have more to give, we have to be finding ways that we do that self-care, and support and connection for us as parents is a huge piece of that self-care. And then, of course, just feeling fulfilled. We have a purpose that we were created for. And it's it's partly parenting, but it's also things beyond parenting. And I hear so many parents saying that I just have lost touch with what my passion and my purpose are even all about, because I spend so much energy on just trying to contain what's happening with my child and in our home. And so those things are important. Those are things that we have to pay attention to. So one of the big tools that I want to introduce to you today is the family huddle. And I love using Huddle. One of my colleagues had used it and I just had to steal it because I loved just the concept of teamwork. So many of our kids relate to sports, athletics, group activities where they come together and they talk and they make a plan. And so obviously in a family of 6 boys and 1 girl, we kind of have our own team going there. And so sports resonates with our family. Your family can call it something else. It may be a chat, it may be a powwow, it may be a club, a meeting, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter so much what you call it, but I'm going to keep referring to it as the family huddle. And I think the family huddle is so important because you can use it in many ways. You can use it in the moment. Maybe you're sensing that you're kind of going into a point of struggle. Maybe you can sense that meltdown may be just kind of working its way up, or you sense that there's just a little bit of overwhelm. So you might say, hey, how about a huddle? And again, these are the kind of things we have to train and nurture in our families in the calm moments, so that when things do start erupting, we can use the shorthand for that. If you were just to look at your child and say, hey, let's huddle, they'd probably look at you like you have 3 heads. I don't know what that means. So these are things we have to train. These are things we have to practice, things that we have to work together to form and build in our families. But you may call a huddle and say, hey, I know you're really frustrated that we have to go to the track meet today. Let's talk about how we can figure out how to make this better. Okay, call the huddle. That's in the moment. Work through it and figure out a way that you can make it work. You may use the family huddle as something you use routinely. For a long time, we did ours on Sunday evening. We would just come together as a family and we would just kind of talk about, what does the week look like? What do we have going on each day? What things are the kids maybe stressed about? Is there a big test coming up? What things do parents have going on that maybe we need to be mindful of and helping each other cover for, or that maybe the kids need to have some grace for? Planning out what your week looks like, especially when our weeks can be super busy and those highly sensitive, highly emotional, challenging kids can really be set off if they don't have some kind of warning about what's ahead. Oftentimes we find in highly sensitive kiddos that they are triggered by the unexpected. And I really encourage you to start opening your mind and your eyes and your heart to watch your child and see if maybe they're triggered by the unexpected. In other words, things that they didn't know were going to happen can make it hard for them to adjust, can make them inflexible, can make them all of a sudden just start feeling overwhelmed, can make them have an instant meltdown because they didn't know what to expect. They may withdraw and want to avoid or reject or get angry about doing things simply because they don't know what to expect. I had to learn to really slow down and really talk about things prior going into them if I wanted our best response from our child. Because if he didn't know what to picture, if he didn't know what it might look like, what it might sound like, how long we would be there, I would meet great resistance. And that resistance wasn't defiance. The resistance was an alert that he was being triggered and overwhelmed. So you may have a family huddle about an event, maybe a holiday that's coming up, maybe a traveling adventure, maybe it's family vacation. We would have huddles before family vacation because as much fun as family vacation is, it was really hard for him with all of his sensory needs. We were in a new environment. The hotels, it wasn't his bed, it wasn't his own bedding. He had to live out of a suitcase. We didn't know where we would be eating. Eating out at restaurants was a challenge because he didn't know what the food would be like, what it would be seasoned with, if it was food that he'd ever tried before, if they would even have a hamburger, because hamburgers were kind of our safe food. So we had to start huddling over restaurants. And huddling over a restaurant might even include showing him a picture of the menu so that he could picture in his mind what the menu options would be. And he could start prepping his brain to choose what it is that he would want before we would end up in the restaurant and then have a meltdown because of the unexpected. So huddles can be so helpful for these things. Holidays, special occasions. It might even be their very own birthday party. Highly sensitive kids, kids with sensory needs, kids with mental health issues, oftentimes their very own fun events can really set them off. You might even need to huddle with your child that in the middle of their own birthday party, it's okay for them to take a 10 or 15-minute break in their room and just be alone. Like these are the kind of things that we can help build into these events, into these moments that help them know it's okay to take care of you. You know, let's take care of your body. Let's take care of what your brain needs. Sometimes your brain needs a break. Sometimes my brain needs a break. So it's okay if you need to just take a little break and you need to be in your room by yourself playing with your very favorite toy for 10 or 15 minutes. These are the kind of things that we can talk out in family huddle. Like I mentioned, times of uncertainty, maybe if it's a new routine, we oftentimes have to have a beginning of a summer huddle. You know, what are our summer days going to look like? What is the routine going to look like? Do we want it to be more scheduled? Do we want it to be more free flow? Are we going to try free flow until free flow doesn't work? And then we huddle again and we come up with a different plan. You can always call the huddle. The family huddle helps you restructure, readjust, and head out into new directions that can bring different results. The child can request a huddle. And I think it's important that we teach them, you know, if all of a sudden things are feeling like uncertain to you, or if things are feeling stressful, you can call a huddle. Tell me that you need a huddle. Establishing that safety for the biggest meltdowns, and that siblings can call huddles too. They may need, you know, to be reminded, what's our plan? You know, what do we do when things kind of start coming off the track? What do we do? And in our family, we had a family huddle and even made up a code word. Because when our highly sensitive, highly emotional child would start heading for those biggest meltdowns, it was hard on the rest of the family. The other kids were almost traumatized at times because of how emotional he could become. And we needed to protect them from that. We needed to protect him from that because he would feel embarrassed by it later. It was just that in the moment, he truly couldn't control it. He was dysregulated. And so we needed to establish as a family, what are we going to do? How are we going to handle it? You know, we even had to have some discussions on those code words so that if we said up, that meant you need to get up and you need to clear out, because we needed to kind of clear the environment so our child who was overstimulated, who was becoming dysregulated, didn't have all of the extra to filter out. He didn't have to feel embarrassed on top of what he was feeling. He didn't have to lose control in front of other people and feel like he was losing face. But we could help protect him in that and protect the other kids because we had established and trained through Family Huddle what they might need and how we could address their needs. So I encourage you to think through how you might use the Family Huddle. In your workbook this week, you have this template for the Family Huddle. And I encourage you just to kind of make some copies of this where it's blank, and you can kind of work through it a few times. After you work through it a few times, you don't have to pull out this paper to pull it off. It can be split second in the moment. It can be totally impromptu. You can totally improvise to get through it. I just want you to understand the important parts of it until it becomes like second nature to you. Things to remember: knowing first and foremost, what's the issue? What is it that you're working toward? Is it a problem? Is it a concern? Is it something that you've observed? Maybe you've observed that chores aren't getting done. So maybe you need to have a family huddle to figure out, I wonder why chores aren't getting done. Maybe kids are ending up late getting off for school in the morning. Maybe the getting up routine isn't smooth. These might be things you've observed that you call a huddle about, a task, an event, or even a situation. Things that are important is that when you start talking about it, I encourage you to let the child talk first. Let the child talk first because it's how we say to them, what you think and what you feel really matters. And when a child can voice what they think and what they feel, you will have better buy-in. Think about it in that office situation again. Oftentimes, this is how I have to kind of frame it going into it. If you were to walk into work and your boss was like, this is what I've noticed, this is what's happening, and this is what we're going to do about it, you wouldn't feel very seen, heard, or understood. But if your boss came to you and he said, okay, I've noticed, this is an issue, and I'm not quite sure how to fix it. What are your thoughts? You would feel totally different about it. Your thoughts and your feelings could help lead to a solution that you could actually feel like you both could win, where your thoughts were considered, where your feelings were understood. And so I encourage you, this isn't giving your child unnecessary power. I think a lot of times parents start thinking like, I don't know, maybe we're giving them too much say. No, this is so important because this is how you build the trust. This is how you build the connection. Power doesn't come in letting them decide. Power comes in distributing the power in appropriate ways. And if you have a child who is intense or challenging, they may have a personality that really needs control. If you have a child who is anxious, they may really, really vie for that control in their life. These are ways that you can give them appropriate control. So you ask them, what kind of things do you think about? Let's talk about this in the construct of getting up in the morning, a morning routine. Okay. So you might say, I've noticed that I'm walking in your room and I'm trying 3-4 times in the morning to get you up and it's not working. And then everybody runs late and then the morning is stressful. And so I notice things aren't working very well with the way you're getting up in the morning. What's going on? Tell me about it. What's going on? Then they get to start talking. Well, I don't want to get up. I don't want to go to school. Okay. I understand you don't want to go to school. What about getting up feels hard for you? I don't want to get out of bed. I just don't want to get up. I'm not ready. I'm still tired. Okay. That's helpful. Help me understand if you can tell me like the ideal way to get up in the morning, what would it be? Would we turn the light on to wake you up? Would you have a radio that would wake you up? Would I rub your back when I woke you up? Talk me through what the perfect way of waking up might look like. Okay, we actually did this with our child, and he said, I would think, Mom, that you could come in and you could bring me my medicine. And I said, do you want me to turn the light on? No, I hate when you turn the light on. That makes me instantly drunk. Okay, good to know. Okay, I won't turn the light on. Bring my medicine in, but I think I would wake up better if you brought me the cat. Really? Okay, interesting idea. I had never thought of waking him up by bringing in the cat. He loves our cat. Our cat is honestly kind of like his therapy animal. So we started bringing in his medicine. I wouldn't turn the light on. I would quietly go and get the cat and bring the cat in. His mornings were a real turnaround. And he did have a better mood in the morning. Now, when that stopped working for a short bit, we went back and had another huddle. Said, wait a minute, this was kind of the idea that you said you needed. Do we need to switch it up just a little bit? Yeah, sometimes the cat doesn't want to stay in there. And then I just don't really want to get up. Okay, well then how about if we set your clothes out the night before, I bring the cat in, and if you aren't up within say 5 minutes, then can I come in and turn the light on? Yeah, that would probably help me. Okay, and that way if the cat's not in there, maybe it'll remind your brain that you got to wake up and you could go find your cat, because as soon as you're dressed, you can go pet the cat. You could find the cat, you could feed the cat, whatever it is, but let's head through that direction. So you can always readjust, but it's so important that you let the child kind of shape for you, what is it that would make this work? Now they may say something that is totally unworkable. Okay, at the brainstorming stage, just brainstorm. Then you get a chance to say what's important to you. How do you see this working well? What are your thoughts? What are your ideas? And then together you figure out, how can we make a plan that works for both of us? It may not work for them to stay in bed 25 minutes and then get up in 5. A lot of kids think if I just wait until the last minute, then I can just hurry up. That plan is usually not a win-win for anybody. And they probably don't like your mood on the end of it either. So the brainstorming is important. Planning together is important. What will it look like? How can you make it work? And don't forget, how will you celebrate when it works? The when then is so important. When this works, then this is how we need to celebrate it. When you're ready for school early, maybe you earned some, 5 extra computer minutes tonight. Maybe you earn computer time at night. You may not typically have computer time at night. It may be that you get dessert at dinner. Be creative, but come up with ways that you can celebrate a winning plan. I love the idea of huddles. I want to really encourage you to give it a shot. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the Calm Care Plan. And we work a lot more with the huddles and the Calm Care Plan in the Calm Connection program. But I want to introduce both of these just briefly today so that you can start trying them out. The Calm Care Plan is the practical tool to help devise a plan, not just for your child, but for the entire family when there is high emotion overload and meltdowns. So I would encourage you to go back to that list that we have talked about, the behaviors that you may notice when your child is calm, when your child is working up and things are turning cloudy, and then when things are actually storming. And I want you to think through it both directions, both as it escalates and as it de-escalates, because those are really important things for you to pay attention to. If you remember, these are the things that are going to help you figure out that little spiral. As you start tracing back those behaviors, you really want to work back to when you last noticed that they were calm. And then likely that very next cloudy behavior is the start of where things start going off track. So here the chart is with some of these things filled in. And I would encourage you for each of these stages to go through and really talk about, what will I say? How will I say it? What will I do? How will I do it? What should I avoid? Where is the best place to be? When and how long will we do what we're doing? These are all important things, because when your child is dysregulated, everything feels out of control. And in that moment, you may say, do you want to go to your room? They're not going to be able to answer. They're totally dysregulated. They're not going to be rational. So these, again, are the kind of things you have to work out ahead of time with your child. These are the things we train and we nurture. We train and we nurture because in the moment, we need to be able to use the short code to get the same result. So you may have a huddle where you come up with what your calm care plan is and you talk through. I would encourage you, if you have a child who is highly emotional, if you have a child who has these frequent meltdowns, maybe sit down one-to-one and work through some of these things with just them first and figure out things like, okay, I want you to imagine like the other day when you had this meltdown, and you may talk about what happened. Help me understand how we can do it different next time. Okay. Do you like going to your room where we can be alone? Or do you need to just stay where you are and we can have everybody else leave the room? Talk through what those steps look like. We actually, like I mentioned, came up with those code words where if we said up, everybody else knew to clear the room, that they could get up and they could clear and go do something different so that he didn't feel embarrassed. We could work one-on-one with him, in some cases 2-to-1, however we needed to do it to help him calm down. And the sooner we could limit all of that extra stimulus in the room, the better we could start working with just him. And it saved our others from having to hear some of the things that is often said when a child is dysregulated. Because I know these kiddos have great hearts. They have kind hearts. They have loving hearts. In these moments, they may say things that cut you to the heart, that really hurt, that are really hard to get over. I want you to remind yourself they don't mean those things. A dysregulated child will say things that are really, really hurtful. Chances are great later, they don't even remember what they said. So it's important that we disconnect our emotions in that moment and really try not to act out of hurt or anger for what it is that's being said or done. And I can tell you, our dysregulated child said some things that were horribly hurtful that I never thought I would hear from my child. I want you to know you can work through those things. And as you start picking up on their signs of meltdown coming, you can start avoiding these things. You can start training. Okay, when you're in the stages where you're feeling like things are getting mad, these are appropriate ways to tell me I'm really angry at you. And when they learn those ways to voice appropriately that they're angry at you, you can oftentimes not head into the dysregulation where things are said that are uncontrolled. So I encourage you for the storming, for the cloudy, even as you're getting back down to calm, what will you say? What will you do? I've mentioned how our child loved to have his back scratched, but if we did back scratching during storming, it would set him off further. He couldn't handle the tactile input. He just needed to be left alone. And I can tell you this, we even worked out with him that he needed us to not talk. He just needed it quiet when he was in that really worked up phase. He needed me near. He would pursue me if I would try to leave the room, but I couldn't interact with him. I just needed to be near. So I would oftentimes realize that I was a bit of a trigger. You know, when I was already involved in the situation, I would become a trigger. You may become a trigger. So I would need to stay near because I wanted him to feel the safety of my presence. But seeing me or hearing me talk to him could trigger him further. So a lot of times what I would do, and my husband and I kind of devised this plan, if I needed to send somebody in, if my husband was home, he might go in and just sit with him so that I could take a little bit of a break, so he could have a little bit of a break without me as the trigger right there. It may be an older sibling. If my husband wasn't home, we would call on an older sibling. You know, we asked him during the huddle, who is it that we want you to ask to come sit with you? If you are feeling angry at me and you need a break, who can we have come sit with you? And so he knew that his older siblings could step in and just be with him. And we told them, we prepped them, don't process it, don't talk about it. You're not talking about how mad you are at mom in this moment. You are just being here. And simply just saying, it's okay. I'm here. I can help. That's it. Keeping your words to very minimal words, because auditory is just another form of stimulation to them. They can't handle it. Then as you work down into cloudy, you may be able to say more. Do you want me to come over? Do you want me to come near? Do you want me to scratch your back? Do you want me to hold you? You need a hug, but that will probably be the cloudy stage, not the storming stage. Now work these things out because these are all individual per child, and your child may feel differently. Your child may calm down with the pressure of a hug. It's different for everybody's sensory wiring. So that's why it's so important that we have these huddles, that we figure out the plans. Once you've talked about this one-on-one with that child, I encourage you, talk about it as a family. Know together as a family what those plans look like. I encourage you to make these plans for when you're out and about. If meltdowns occur when you're out and about, what are you going to do? Are you going to head to the car? Are you going to head to the restroom? What's your plan? Because out and about has all sorts of unknowns, all sorts of unpredictables, all sorts of triggers. Have a plan. Having that plan is your saving grace, and it keeps you from making decisions in the moment that damage the relationship. Instead, it builds in for that child that safety net. You can see how important these plans are, how important these huddles are. And that's one reason I want to encourage you to spend some time making this applicable to your child and your family. Does anybody have a question at this point? I'm going to check the chat real quick. Feel free to unmute if you have a quick question. Okay, then we're going to keep on. Hopefully that means everybody's up to speed. We are going to link this all back to when we do the huddles, when we do the calm care plan, we are putting into practice the I Heart approach. We are always heading into these thinking first and foremost what it is that I'm thinking and feeling. Am I being triggered? Am I anchored and calm? And if you aren't, how can you become anchored and calm? Then, of course, you can see through the process of what these huddles or plans look like, how we are taking time to hear, to really listen. Oftentimes, the problem isn't what we think it is. We need to listen to the problem as what our child says it is. You know, I remember trying to solve this dilemma where he went to the concession stand and he wanted to get a treat and a snack. He came back, he had an absolute meltdown in front of a whole crowd. I was mortified. I thought I knew the problem. I thought he was hungry. It wasn't that he was hungry. It was that he had promised somebody he would come and see them at the concession stand. And because I made him wait, they had already left. So I needed to hear the right problem because what I was solving was how to get him a bag of peanuts because I thought he just needed a snack. That wasn't the problem. But the meltdown initially led me to believe, oh my gosh, he's having a meltdown over a snack. I can fix that. I couldn't fix it because it wasn't the right problem. And oftentimes this is what happens when we don't train our ears and our eyes to really see and hear the problem as they're feeling it. We need to observe tone and feelings because a lot of times what they're saying doesn't necessarily match. They may be saying, I'm fine, I'm fine. I said I'm fine. They're not fine. Nope, the tone gave it away. They're not fine. It might be fine. I can do that. I'll do it. You know, I found that my son would oftentimes say what I wanted to hear, but he couldn't get his heart, his brain, and his body there. So then he would erupt. Well, it doesn't do any good to just have kids who say what you want to hear, but their hearts aren't in it. Because remember, parenting is about more than training the behavior. It's about training and nurturing the heart, because from the heart is where the behavior comes. And so I appreciated that he had the good heart that wanted to try to do what's right. I needed his body and his brain to be able to be there too, or it was just going to create anger and resentment. And that's not what we want in the relationship with our child. That damages that. So hearing those things and maybe even hearing the environment where you need to go to a quiet spot where you can both really understand each other. Empathizing through the course of these plans, through the course of these huddles, we're talking about things we notice. We are reiterating to them, I hear you saying, we're saying, I can understand that you don't like getting up and going to school. I can understand that you told somebody you would do something and it feels really important. I can understand that the bus is loud and bumpy and horrible and that you wish you didn't have to ride it. I wonder if there's a way we could make the bus ride feel any better. These are all ways that we show empathy because remember, we can't move into problem solve brainstorm mode until they know we get it. Then we move into adjust. We figure out, okay, in what ways can we adjust this? Do I need to adjust my expectation? Is this a reasonable expectation? Am I asking something of my child that skill wise they can do? Remember, a lot of these kiddos that we're dealing with that have high emotions or even some of the mental health diagnoses, say ADHD, when you are dealing with a child who has ADHD, you can usually count on them being about 3 to 4 years emotionally less mature than their peers. So they may behave emotionally in a way that, say, a 5-year-old is when they're actually 8 or 9. So keeping that in mind as you work with them, as you problem solve with them, as you empathize with them, think about those things that are wired differently in their brain. It's not bad, it's just different. And we need to adjust our approach to work with it well. And then, of course, we respond, we make that new plan with them. And we have to show them that, yes, I'm really in this. I'm with you. We're going to make it happen. I feel good about it. Because if they sense that it's just like lip service on our side of it, it will crash. And I can promise you, when we start doing these things over and over, we strengthen our connection with our child. We build trust. The respect and responsibility that we sense in our child grows, and our communication is improved. And honestly, it improves the health of the whole family. It can improve marriages that are struggling to get on the same page. It can improve families where siblings aren't getting along. It really can make a difference. And this is one of the reasons that I'm so excited about the program that I was able to write and put together. And I want to share a little bit about it with you today. The Calm Connection Parenting Program, it's a 4-phase program. We break each part of that phase down. We talk about investigating, validating, creating, and incorporating. Kind of a picture of what we did on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, but we stretch it out over the matter of some months so that you can have some one-on-one time, so that you can have some group time, whatever you might need to figure out your family's needs. We talk through weekly training sessions so that we can figure out how to understand yourself better, your personality, your experiences, and what you've been through and how it shapes you. Maybe even some of those things that trigger you, how to know and understand your child, who they were created to be, their unique wiring, their unique personality, their emotional needs, whatever it is that they might be bringing to the table that you need to understand better. We talk about the step-by-step approach, the I-Heart approach, learning that acronym can really guide your interactions as you seek to understand, adjust, and connect. And we learn how to create those new patterns, those new habits, those methods. And we adjust, because we understand the skills, the expectations, the necessity, and the options that are appropriate and how we can adjust through that. We can start putting it all together and start making it feel more natural. I loved how who was it? Autumn, I believe, shared yesterday that she had actually used the strategy already, and that she said it felt a little weird at first, but I think the more I do it, the better it can feel. Mickey says, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I would have never thought about them. We always knew our son was emotionally younger. Yes, it really is true. It is so true. And, these are all the things that I love sharing in the Calm Connection program, because it's things that a lot of times we have not been told as parents, and we're trying to do something that we don't necessarily have an education in how to parent. And I kind of like to think that this is kind of that crash course. This is your shortcut. And while it works for highly sensitive, highly emotional, and challenging children, you guys, the beauty of this is that it works with all children. I wish that I had had all of these strategies and skills and tools when I had parented our oldest kids, because I can tell you, I would have done it differently. I would have done it differently because I understand things in a different way now. And so this just breaks out here what each of those phases look like: investigate, validate, create, and incorporating, putting it all together. My question, are you ready to help your child manage his emotions and issues so that he can become all God created him to be? God has called you for this purpose and this role. Charisse is somebody who has been in the Calm Connection program. She's also been in the workshop this week, so you may have been able to work with her, talk with her. I know that she would be more than happy to visit with you. She's already agreed that she would if you wanted to visit with her about the Calm Connection program. But these are some of her thoughts on it. She says, just got off another coaching call session with Jamie, who is not just a parenting coach, but an absolute answer to prayer, as well as my favorite investment of all time. Thank you, Charisse. That feels good. We hired Jamie feeling like this was one more thing we could at least try for our special needs child situation, in addition to doctors, therapies, appointments, to now feeling like we should have hired Jamie first and a long, long time ago for the growth and benefits of our entire family. It's a rare and special thing how Jamie cares and supports, and I can be my actual self with her. We have a sisterhood, and I still move forward in the program and do the inner work. I have not felt as lonely as a special needs mom. I think a lot of us have felt that. And I've learned a bunch of helpful things that have created some wins. Hooray with our girl, where it could have turned into a 2-hour meltdown, but it didn't. Now we have training, understanding, Jamie's expertise, support, and growing tools to help us on this journey. Thank you, Charisse. Those words mean so much, and it has been a joy to work with you. Another family that I've been able to work with, it's so fun. I love when spouses then share what they're learning and bring in the other partner to learn about some of these very same tools and strategies. And so some sessions we have mom and dad, some sessions we have just mom, a couple sessions moms have had to get out and it's just dads. Whoever wants to attend can attend. If both of you want to attend, you can. I want you to know what value there is in having dads involved that can talk about the experience from their perspective. I love what Matt had to say. Matt's in the military. Matt is one of those dads that grew up in a home that was very, very strict. And as he says, it's easy for me just to fall right into that. But this has really helped me. He says this program is a real eye opener. It's so refreshing to realize that we are not alone. Connecting with other parents who share some of the same experiences we have has been such a relief. I'm not crazy. My favorite part of the course is being able to be honest and real about my struggles. Jamie has really been insightful and helped me gain some great perspectives on my approach to my kids. This has been more than worth it. Don't stay stuck. Jump in. It will change your life. It means so much to me to hear these words of people that I'm working with. You know what? Matt has been very honest. I remember one session where Matt was like, man, some of this stuff sounds good, but like, I don't know. Like it was like he was struggling with, does this feel too weak? We talked through it and I said, thanks for sharing your resistance. Let's talk through it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what the end looks like if you take this approach. Now let's talk about what your relationship with your child can look like when you switch your approach. And what is it that you want? And what if I were to tell you that the tools you are using aren't going to get you that kind of relationship in the end, but these kind of tools can lead you where you want to be? I remember clearly when he smiled and was like, you know what? I hear strategy in this. And strategy is something that in the military, I embrace. Let's do it. And he started really keying in on his relationship with his children and how that was going to be the key to making a difference. You might be wondering what the Calm Connection Parenting Program is all about, what it includes. This here is just a snapshot of what is included. It is weekly training sessions, 1 hour weekly, where we do group coaching, where we get on Zoom just like we did this week and we talk. I will admit, you will do more talking. I will do a little less talking than I have done this week, but we talk through what it is that you bring to the table today. What is something I can help you with today? And we talk in the moment that week through these concepts. We talk about linking the tools that we've learned to the situations that you are dealing with in your home. You also get access to a video sequence, an audio sequence that is specific training. The reason I like to do that is because I want you to get the training, but I also want to be able to talk in our coaching sessions about how we implement that. So in order to spend more time on implementing, I have the teaching segments built in already. And then you can go through those at your own pace. You may want to get away one weekend and knock out a couple different phases. Do it. You may say, you know what, one night a week, I'm just going to listen late at night when the kids are in bed. That's fine too. You may need to do it slow. You may be one that wants to take it in quickly. So for both the Calm Connection course and the personality course that is included, the Learning the Language of Your Child's Heart course, you can go through those at your own pace. Some people come into the program and they're like, you know what, I have access to that for the length of the life of this program. I'm not going to worry so much about the personality course right now. I'm going to focus on the Calm Connection meltdown part. And that's great because you will keep access to that Learning the Language of Your Child's Heart course. You get workbooks. You get a workbook for each phase of the Calm Connection program, as well as the personality course. You get the online parent support group that is specific to just those who are in the Calm Connection program. You get to do a parent assessment where we figure out, with more questions than just 10, I believe there's 40 on the parent personality profile, what your personality is. And we figure out, what does that mean? What does that look like in parenting? Where are your strengths in parenting? Where might you have some potential struggles? Are there some things in your life that are emotional needs for you that we need to better meet for you to feel more refreshed as a parent? And then, of course, the Yuzu book. What you can expect, these weekly small group training sessions, the 4-phase training with the video and audio files. You get to do this from the comfort of your own home. I know so many people are already like, man, we're already balancing counseling sessions. We're balancing therapy sessions. We have school activities. I don't want to add one more thing to my schedule. That's the beauty of it. You get to do it from the comfort of your own home, and you can watch the replays for any of the coaching sessions you can't make live. We can record all of those. You can watch the replays for review whenever it's convenient for you, even if it's midnight when your house is finally quiet. So whether you're feeling weary and discouraged or happy and ready to celebrate your wins, you can have support and encouragement. So again, just to recap, it's the weekly training sessions, the Calm Connection course, the Learning the Language of Your Child's Heart course, the workbooks, the online parent support group, the parent assessment, the Yuzu book. And for anybody that decides to enroll in this program in the next 48 hours, you get additional bonuses. You get the parent personality strategy session where we just sit down and talk about your personality. You also get the digital parent personality assessment. So you can have it in paper form and digital form. You get the parent personality course that's on the Parenting with Personality app. You get an ultimate parenting planner, which talks about, training some of those character traits that we want in our family, in our child, in our home. And you get access to a parenting resource library, which has all sorts of printables in it that are extremely helpful as you try to implement these things. Now, you may be saying, that's great. I don't mind group things, but I do know that sometimes I function better one-on-one rather than in a group. And I want you to know, I've got you covered. If you are one of those people that are like, I don't just want group counseling or group coaching, I need to do something that is more one-to-one. You can have the one-on-one interaction, and you can purchase that level of the program. There you also get a sensory profile where we go through and we talk about all of the sensory issues with your child. We actually go through and fill out a profile together and talk about which of those 8 sensory systems might your child be struggling with. You get unlimited email access, you get a family strategy session, and 6 individual sessions in addition to what the group program offers. So there's the group program, and then there is the small group plus, the VIP. And This is just a breakdown of both of those. You can see that the VIP is everything that is included with the small group coaching, in addition to the Voxer email access, family strategy, individual sessions, and a special little welcome gift. So you are welcome to look through these. I will have these graphics in the group as well. Sarah is another person that has been in the Calm Connection program. And everybody comes in with some different needs. Some people say, help me understand. Some people come in and they say, I need you to help me help other people understand. Sarah had a really good pulse on her child's needs, but she really needed to feel some empowerment in advocating for him, whether it's at school, whether it's an extended family, whether it's in a situation where you can't get the other parenting partner on board. This can help with that as well. Sarah says, I connected with Jamie during an intensely difficult time as a mother when I was searching and praying for a better understanding of my son's complex challenges and needs and how to ensure his well-being and safety, as well as that of my other children. And that's an issue for a lot of families with high emotions. She's been an incredible source of support and provided a wealth of resources, tools, and practical information that has helped me not only understand my son's brain better, but empowered me to be a better advocate for him with family members, professionals, and his school. She's sensitive, responsive, and caring, and works hard to ensure that my concerns are addressed and questions answered in a safe and validating setting. She truly supports me in my efforts as a mother, helping me navigate through some very difficult parenting challenges, while always honoring my mother's heart and insights. Jamie's a miracle worker and heaven sent. Thank you, Sarah, for your sweet words. I cannot tell you how much I have loved working with these three families for the last 4 months. It has been a joy. It has been a privilege. And I know if any of you would want to talk to any of them about what this process has looked like, how it has helped them, what they're learning, that they would be willing to do that. So get in touch with me if you want me to help you get in touch with them. But this is my question for you. Are you ready to feel calm, confident, and connected? Are you ready to not just survive parenting, but thrive in parenting? I want to remind you there's a 48-hour bonus for anybody that decides to enroll in this program. In the next 48 hours, you can get a special one-on-one coaching session, as well as the child-focused personality course that's on the app. So until Sunday at midnight, you can get the special bonus when you enroll in the Calm Connection Parenting Program. You've maybe been needing, searching, and hoping, maybe even praying for some answers to help figure out your child's issues, your family's struggles, how to do things differently, how to connect, how to help your family be all God created it to be. This could be your answer. There's some more testimonials there to share, but I know you guys are super excited to find out the winners of the giveaway. So, as I promised, we are doing the Learning the Language of Your Child's Heart. We are also doing 2 scholarships because I was just so incredibly blessed by the watch party this week that I decided to throw in the second one, even though we didn't quite make the numbers for enrollment that we had set out as our goal. I just really want to bless you guys in return. When you help support other people, I want to help support you as well. So we are doing Learning the Language of the Child's Heart. Our winner, I just want you to know, in case there are people here that playing by the rules is important to, I want you to know I did the wheel so that, let's see, it is called the Wheel of Names. It's the generator for doing your drawings. And the winner of the Learning the Language of Your Child's Heart is Autumn. I don't know if you could see my screen, but I have a picture of it here. If you would rather me post it later, I can. Autumn, you are the winner of the Learning the Language of Your Child's Heart.
Oh, well, thank you.
You
Awesome.
bet. You bet. I hope you enjoy it. And the first winner of our first scholarship, I wish I had a drum roll, is Lori. Lori, you are a winner of our scholarship for the Calm Connection program. Hopefully you are live. If you're live, maybe you can unmute. Hopefully she's live. You are a winner, Lori, if you hear me. Let's see.
I'm here. I'm
Oh,
on Amy's
okay.
video.
Okay. Very good. No worry. I hear you. She's claimed. Okay. And our final winner of the last scholarship is drumroll Mickey. So
Woohoo! Thank
hopefully you
you.
were able to hear me. I think if I remember right, she is attending a track meet just so she can be live. I'm in her ear at the track meet. So
I don't know if you can see me, but I'm here.
oh, very good. I hear you. Very good. Okay, so those are our winners today. As I want to remind you, if you have questions, maybe you're wondering, man, I don't even know if this is appropriate for our family, our situation, our child. I don't know. Just book a free call. I would love to visit with you, whether you work with me or not. I would love to connect with you to help you find some resources, maybe even just to figure out what your next step is. I'm here for you. I have loved having you in the group this week. If you're watching on replay, I am so thankful you are watching on replay. I want to connect with you. So send me a message or find the enroll post, the book a call, and you can get a call set up and we can talk on phone or on Zoom to answer your questions. I want to make sure that everybody can connect that wants to this week. Oh, Mickey, thank you so much. She said this week has been amazing. You know what? We still have 2 more days together. We are going to be doing some more drawings. In tomorrow's session, we are going to be talking about implementing the family huddle as well as the Calm Care plan. And either tomorrow or Monday, depending on how quickly our work session goes, I don't want to cut our work time short. I want to share with you, oh man, probably 10 of my favorite books that align with the Calm Connection program. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was in the throes of this high emotion, I didn't have time to sit and read 10 books. I just needed somebody to glean what was most important and share it with me. And I want you to know that's kind of the compilation of what the Calm Connection program is all about. It brings so many of these things together and helps you understand your child's need in a totally different way. But it's not just this is what Jamie thinks. There's science behind this, you guys. And I get so excited to just teach about how your child's brain may be wired, may be functioning, because you know what? There's really some good hacks once we figure out what's going on. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we end today? You are welcome to unmute if anybody has any questions, feel free. All right. I have loved meeting with you day 1, 2, 3, and 4. I look forward to tomorrow and coach and coffee. 2 very fun things to have together. Bring your sweet coffee for Coffee with a Coach on Monday at 10. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.